Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. We are going to be busting out one more build with our businesses and hobbies big build. This has taken me so long to get out to you guys, but this is the last build of the Newcrest the Tubbs residence with there's 8 or so. How many is there? 6. There's 6 different businesses on one lot, and the Tubbs family renovated these places, and they raised their families in them, and they run these places and live in the apartments above the buildings. That's what we're going to be working on again today. We are going to be working on the other siblings. So we worked on Jerica and her husband, her little family. We did all of their businesses and apartments and stuff in previous videos. We also did her parents' cafe, and now we're going to be working on her brother's side. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'll introduce you guys to these townies as well, and let's just waste no time. Let's go ahead and go. While the game is loading, let me give you guys a friendly reminder to hit that subscribe button down below. We do a lot of Sims content here, which is kind of a scary time right now because it was my goal to make this my job, and with the news that came out with EA being bought out, I'm gonna continue to have fun while we can, and I'm going to keep the vibes positive and the hopes high that everything will be okay. So thanks for sticking around, and thanks for watching. It means the world to me. Let's just get into this build. Let's just do that. Alright, so we are going to start off by making the pottery and paint studio. It's kind of just like an art studio, and I ended up naming it Pots and Paints. The storyline with this is that Potts is supposed to be Caden, who is the son of Elijah and Eileen, sister of Jerica. His wife Ziara, her maiden name was Potts, so that's kind of the storyline of how this place got its name. Originally I wanted it to be a really big long studio where it was one side was painting and one side was pottery, but the little, I don't want to call it, what is it, whiteboard? The whiteboard where you can teach classes is only so big, and it's huge. So I didn't want to be teaching a lecture of pottery or painting and then having other people that are learning painting be in the pottery side, or vice versa. So I ended up doing more of a stacked studio, which is fine, and I think that it ended up looking nice. I feel it's decently realistic if you were to do a for example, where I live down on our main street, there's a Color Me Mine, is that what it's called? Where you can do pottery and then you paint it and stuff. There's one of those, and it kind of has a similar layout where it is a top and a bottom floor. So it's kind of similar to that kind of feel. So let me talk to you about Caden and Ziara Tubbs. Caden and Ziara, they have 2 children, and one of their children lives at home with them still. She's a teen. And then they have another daughter who lives across the street with her cousin and her boyfriend. So the one that lives with them is actually going to be the one that runs the coffee house, which I named Celestial Mermaid. It was supposed to be kind of a play on Starbucks, because stars are celestial, and mermaid is the mascot of Starbucks, and so it's kind of supposed to be a funny play on words for that. And that is the building that I'm actually working on now, is the coffee house, the Celestial Mermaid. So their daughter Logan actually owns this I guess not owns. I mean, technically in the game she owns it, but like for like story purposes, I feel like it would be owned by like her parents, but she just like works there, or like maybe the grandma owns it, but Logan just works there. But Logan is their daughter, is their youngest daughter, and then their other daughter, Adeline, she lives across the street with her boyfriend Jordan and Jerica's other daughter, Liberty. Hopefully I can make this all make sense when I give you guys a tour. I can kind of like show you guys what I'm talking about. I really debated putting the cupcake machine in here. Originally I wanted it to be like coffee and the cupcake machine, but I've actually never played with a coffee machine, for one, and for two, it's very large. I didn't realize how large it was, so we ended up cutting the cupcake machine, and it's just a coffee house, which is fine, and it's a cutesy little coffee house. Originally, I wanted to do kind of more of like a darker coffee scene. Like there's a wallpaper, and for some reason I'm forgetting what pack it's from because there's just so much content in The Sims. I feel like that's like my tagline at this point is there's this one thing and I use this one thing, but I forgot what pack it is. But I mean, can you blame me? There's so much in The Sims, so not a bad thing, but it is just slightly hard to keep track of things sometimes. We may not have a cupcake machine. Oh, sorry, I was talking about wallpaper. There's a wallpaper that I really wanted to use all throughout this coffee house, and it's like trees, like black and white trees. I really wanted to use it, but I just ended up not, because I feel like the cutesy vibe was more the style, especially since the pottery and painting studio, it's very like light, like the wood tones and stuff like that is very light. So I kind of wanted, since it's like a parent company, I guess, I mean really it truly is a parent company, I wanted to just kind of make the vibes match more. And I mean, who wouldn't want to have their coffee from a cute little coffee house? This actually reminds me a lot of, there was a place that my husband and I loved to eat at when we were dating and also like first married before we had children. Maggleby's. We would go there like every weekend because you had like, it was like bottomless pancakes or bottomless French toast, and their bacon was amazing, but their like decor was kind of like cutesy like this. At least the Maggleby's we would go to was like cutesy decor. So as I was saying before I got sidetracked with the wallpaper, we may not have the cupcake machine. Oh, this is the wallpaper I'm talking about, by the way. It's this trees, the black and white trees. I ended up putting it in the upstairs because it's going to be like a kind of like a library cafe is what we're going for. Anyway, we don't have a cupcake machine here, but we do have the candy machine, and I believe we also put the popcorn machine. Actually, did we put the popcorn machine? I think the popcorn machine is only in the bowling alley, but we do have the candy maker here, so we'll have like candy here and it's pretty exciting. So we're on the top floor now. I wanted the top floor to feel like you had just stepped into a novel. So I'm thinking like first couple chapters of like A Court of Thorns and Roses. I don't want to spoil in case anybody has read anything, so I really shouldn't say anything, but like when she's in the forest or in any kind of fairy tale, when they're in a forest, I wanted it to feel as if you were like being transported into a forest. So the bottom is very like whimsical and like dainty designs, very pastel like colors, and then the upper floor is a little more serious, a little more sophisticated, and I honestly kind of love the way that it turned out. I love that the bottom floor is one thing, but then the top floor is like a completely different and new thing, and I wanted it to be just like a very chill, relaxing vibes. Like, this is a place that would play like lo-fi beats nonstop. And honestly, I would love to visit this place in real life. I think that it would be really fun. I don't know if that sounds stupid or not, but like, does anybody else do that? Like, you build something in The Sims and you're like, oh man, I wish this was a place that I could visit at in real life. Because I do that, I feel like, all the time. I don't know, the vibes here is just to like hang out, get a cup of coffee, and then just like quietly hang out, chit chat with some buddies. There's a computer up there, there's a chessboard up there, kick back on the couch underneath the like light canopies with like a good book and just chill, zone out, and just read and have a good time. So I did want to make the like kitchen part, like where Logan would be working and like serving coffee and making candy and stuff. I wanted that to be partitioned off so that it was just like her space, like the customers wouldn't get in there. So a workaround that is there's like a fence from, is it Get Famous, I think, that is kind of like invisible, but I can like section something off, and I was able to make the kitchen area where Logan's going to be working, I was able to make it so that that section was just for her, and then like it was still open to the rest of the build. Okay, so I originally planned for like each of these builds to be like its own separate video. So I was going to do like the why am I blanking? I just did the speed build. The paint studio a separate video, and I was going to do the coffee house a separate video, and then the apartment a separate video. But I just kind of thought, you know what, let's just throw it all in one and just do a maybe a little bit longer of a video. I mean, I'm not really sure how long this video will be. I need to edit it still, obviously, but I just figured let's get it all done, and then we can move on to some different builds in Newcrest, because since building this, I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 7 other builds that are already done and I want to share with you guys. And I just haven't been able to yet because I'm still working on doing the Tubbs residences, like all the businesses and stuff for them. So I wanted to get this out for you guys. So here's their apartment. Their kitchen honestly was a lot of fun for me. And it's very opposite, as you can tell from the last apartment we did for the Vegas. Their apartment was a lot darker. And actually, if you can't tell, I built this apartment before I even built Jerica and Matthew's apartment. So yeah, when I said last time that my like editing and hosting sequence is like all over the place, like I wasn't kidding. There's a lot of organization over here, and it's kind of chaotic organization, but you know, it works. This is a part of their house that is like super fun for me for some reason, and it's their entryway. But I don't know, I feel like I gave this so much like detail that it just like makes sense. I don't know if that sounds like dumb or not, but I feel like that could be a real entryway. There's like a lot of organized clutter, I would say. Their apartment is probably technically smaller than, well, not even technically, it definitely is smaller than Jerica and Matthew's, because theirs is just one singular floor. I debated making it a second, like a 2-story apartment, but I decided to just go for just leave it as like a smaller apartment. I feel like that just kind of works a little bit better. I will say though, I much prefer having a smaller area to build and decorate in than having a bigger area. I feel like if it's a big area, I get overwhelmed so much because there's so many places that things could go, and I don't want it to look like over cluttered, but I also don't want it to look empty. You know what I mean? Whereas I feel if you have a smaller space, it's easier to just like, it's just easier. Just end of story. It's just easier to have a smaller space in real life and in The Sims. So yeah, that's my TED Talk. Anyways, I feel like the floor plan is like fairly simple, and I feel like the floor plan would honestly be maybe a little more traditional of like an apartment. Like for in real life, maybe not the kitchen. The kitchen is pretty massive, and like the rooms and stuff are pretty like on the smaller side. So maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Our first apartment had a decent sized kitchen, but all the rooms were small. So maybe I just don't know what I'm talking about. For the floor plan, though, we do have two, I guess 3 bedrooms, the primary and then the bedrooms for the girls. And I did the same for their oldest, who doesn't live with them anymore, Adeline. I did the same that I did for in the Vega household for their girls. I just put like cardboard boxes and stuff in her room as to show like she had moved out, but like there's still like that space there because it was her room. And then the room that we're working on currently is Logan's room. She's still in high school. I also put some stuffed animals at the end of the bed. I don't usually do stuff like that, but I think it's a cute touch and like I don't see the harm in it. Also, this pink wallpaper that I'm putting in Logan's room, I'm obsessed with that, and if I could have that in real life, I would love that. I would love that so much. I think I'm ready to go ahead and give you guys the tour of this place. So let's go ahead and do it. All right, so here we are with the tub. So I'm going to see if I can like make it make sense when I'm talking about all these people. So here in the Tubbs household, this guy right here, he is Elijah, the dad or grandpa. He's the founder of this like main street that I'm calling it a main street just because that's what I kind of grew up with, is like a main street kind of like this. But these businesses and stuff, like these apartments and stuff, he is like the one who started it all. He owns the Riverback Cafe with his wife Eileen, and they have 2 children, Caden and Jerica. Jerica is married to Matthew, and they have 3 children, one who lives with them, which is Connor, and then they also have this girl over here named Stevie. She lives out with her boyfriend and their 3 dogs. And then they also have Liberty, who lives across the street and owns a separate business. I feel like this is so confusing for no reason. Caden is married to Ziara, and they have Logan, who lives with them because she's a teen, and they also have Adeline, who lives across the street with Liberty and also her boyfriend Jordan. So hopefully that makes sense. We're going to meet these 3 later on, but for now let's tour the Caden and Ziara's place. Let's do it. All right. Okay, let's get to some good lighting first and foremost. Okay, so these are the buildings that we're going to be focusing on this time around, is right here. Here is the build. So we have our art studio over here, and then our cafe and the apartment up top. And this is the last and final build in the Midtown Meadows lot for Newcrest. How exciting. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead. We'll start with the art studio, since that's what we built first. Here is the art studio. So the pottery maker is Caden. Yeah, I mean, here it is. There's like a little place right here to sign in at the very front, and then you have places to sell items. You have your kilns. I made sure to put a lot in because I've watched a few gameplays as of now. Like when it originally came out, I didn't watch a ton. When new packs come out, I don't tend to watch a lot of content on them just because I kind of want to be surprised myself by when I play it for the first time. However, the new pack that's coming out, Adventure Awaits, I have been watching so much content and gobbling it up because I'm excited for it, and I want to know how everyone is enjoying it because it looks fun. I am excited for it. I really, really am. So yes, we have a lot of kilns. a decent amount of pottery wheels, honestly, and then we just have like a little half bath so that people can go to the bathroom. And then we have our painting studio. Oh, looks like people have already started painting. Let's see. Does it tell me who's made stuff? This one says, oh, it just says it if it's finished. That's by Matthew Vega. Interesting. Anyway, it's a little bit more messier up here. I honestly probably could have put some of these paint splatters down on the other floor, because I mean, clay gets on the floor. I've taken a pottery class before. My high school offered it. The teacher was awful, but I had a lot of fun making pottery, and I still do. I still do like a little here and there. I don't have like a kiln or anything. It's just kind of like air dry clay, but it's still a lot of fun. For here, I made sure to put up like aprons and stuff, which again, I could have done this down here. Now that I'm looking at it, there's so much that I could do down here still. But maybe they get their aprons and stuff up here. Maybe that's how it works. You know? We have some artwork up on the walls and like a place to dry off and stuff like that. I have I'm pretty sure this is like a handiness table. It was part of the like painting kit, the artist studio kit. And then this is also a place where you can sell paintings, and then they also have just like the same half bath situation down in there. All right, here is the Celestial Mermaid. I love these cookie rugs, especially for this area. I think it's so cute. We have a little place where she can sell treats. Maybe I'll have her like sell baked goods too. I'm not really sure. Maybe her grandma can make the baked goods and she can sell them. But then we have the coffee bar. We have, okay, this is the candy maker, right? Yes, it's the candy maker. Yeah, just pretty standard kitchen really for like a small little cafe, barista cafe is what I'm trying, coffee house, and then just a little bathroom for there, and then the upstairs where you get sent to a magical land. I love it. This is the wallpaper that I was talking about with the trees, the black and white trees. It's from, is that Parenthood? Yes, it's Parenthood. That's from Parenthood? I never knew that. Okay. And then I put these cloud lights. I love these cloud lights. Oh, and this, I don't think I got into this in the speed build, but I made it so there's like these rugs, these grass ones, they came from Enchanted by Nature, and they have a swatch that has like a river, and I made it look as if like there's a river kind of flowing through like this like reading area. I think it's so cute. I just tried to make it look like a little meadow up here. I don't know, wouldn't it be so fun to just be like reading a book about, and the setting is like a meadow and you're like reading it in like a little meadow. I mean, you could just go to like the woods and do that, but you know what I mean. It's fun, okay? It's beautiful and fun. And then I paired the tree wallpaper with this like cityscape wallpaper, this black and white cityscape, which I believe is from the Bella Thorne kit, right? There's so much content. I can't keep track of what everything is from. What is this from? Oh, the Storybook Nursery Kit. Don't ask me what I was thinking about. Anyway. Yeah. Then there's just some greenery and plants up here. It looks so cute. I love it up here. It's so cute. I want to visit it in real life. Alright. Here is their apartment. You walk up these stairs. They have a little patio where they have some flowers. And then you come into, holy cow, there's so many levels that when I move around it just like freaks out. This is the entryway that I was talking about. I love it. I feel like I mean, maybe you wouldn't have an iron, okay, but these are from Laundry Day, so there's going to be like laundry type stuff on it, but they also have shoes. And then their kitchen, which I love, and look at these chairs. I didn't even know that this swatch existed on these chairs until I made this kitchen. These curtains are some that I never use. These are from Island Living, but they have this plain white swatch, and I feel like it works just so perfectly in this space. It kind of gives that like soft bohemian pastel vibe, and I love it. You know what? This is kind of bugging me though. Oh no! What if we just do white? There. The silver trash can was just bothering me with the gold accents, but that works better. I love these lights too. I think that they're so fun. This fridge, love these cabinets, love this floor. This whole kitchen, honestly. If I could have a fun kitchen, this is what it would look like. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. And then they also have a dining room just coming right off of it. I also gave them a bar as well, but I feel like theirs is a little more like fun, whereas like Jerica and Matthew's, theirs is a little more like sophisticated. I feel like I use that all the time when I'm explaining them, but sophisticated. I feel like, is that centered right? No, that's centered right. Okay, I must have just not cared of the placement of the curtains in there, and honestly, I'm not going to change it because I don't feel like it. Okay. We have a toilet room that doesn't have a light. Wouldn't be a build of mine if I didn't have to fix at least one thing, am I right? But there's just like a little toilet room. They only have one bathroom, and I also doubled it as like their laundry room, which I don't think I gave Jerica and Matthew a laundry room. Did I? I don't remember. Anyway, I doubled it as their laundry room. They have a nice shower, a good get ready area, and I did kind of give them a lot more clutter since they do have a teenager at home still. This is like, you know, all of her stuff that she needs to get ready for the day. We have their lovely and cozy living room. Look at this. I would love it if The Sims could make this just one room. You know how they have these like sectioned off rooms if you go to styled rooms? If they could make this room a styled room option, come on. That looks beautiful. I love that. I love this light. I kind of wish I could have that light in real life. I could probably make that decently easy. You just have to, like the fringe I'm talking about, like the fringe, you could make a lamp with fringe pretty easy, but I sized this up quite a bit and I kind of like it. I think that it works in the space. It's obviously huge, but it's alright. And then we have just like a little desk because you know you always need skill building items. Here is their room. It's just kind of simple and basic. They do have a closet in their room, but there's not really like, you know, much to this room. It's just, you know, their parents' room. And then here is Adeline's room. She has the purple room. I gave her just some like cardboard boxes. And then I just put a bed in here. It's not... The teenager has a bigger bed, and I kind of was thinking maybe like when Adeline moved out, they gave Logan, the teenager, maybe they gave her like their sister's old bed, and so they just like swapped beds, you know. I don't know. But I did the same thing with Adeline that I did with Liberty and Stevie, and just put cardboard boxes in her room, just kind of like hold space for the room, but like they don't live there anymore. So but here's Logan's room. It's really cute. Also, this little toaster alarm clock is so cute. At least I think it's a toaster. That's always what I think it is. It's like a little Pop-Tart or something going in. I don't know. I could be very wrong, but I think it's cute. This wallpaper is adorable. This is also adorable. I don't know. I had so much fun making this family and creating them their like businesses and places to live. It was a lot of fun for me. Oh yeah, I forgot to put a dream catcher on her door. It's really cute. But yeah, that officially completes the Midtown Meadows builds in Newcrest. I really enjoyed them, and I do want to play like Battle of the Businesses and see who can, you know, get their business to be 5 stars. Sorry, my nose itches. The fastest. I think that would be a lot of fun. So I might try to incorporate that into my schedule. Oh, this cafe is still one of my favorites with the string lights. Just, oh, it's so cute. Honestly, if I could pick my favorite builds, the cafe and their apartment, Eileen and Elijah, theirs would probably be 1. 2 would probably be, honestly, this is going to sound stupid, but it's a tie from the tattoo studio and these builds over here. And then last was the nightclub. It was the first time I made a nightclub. And I think if I were to do it on something other than what was supposed to be like a renovated business apartment type thing, it would have turned out better, but it's not bad. I had a lot of fun with these. They look really good. I hope you guys enjoyed them too, because coming up we have across the street these guys that we're going to be building as well. Obviously you can see they're already built, but we have some apartments, we have a business, we have a business, we have a fun business that has some fun stuff coming up for it, and another apartment over here. Oh yeah, and then what's that over there? More apartments. So we have definitely some more stuff coming for you guys. I was gonna say in the works, but I've already built them. Yeah, hopefully you guys are excited, and now that you've seen kind of like the layout of what I would consider to be like a downtown area for Newcrest, I'm excited on how this is shaping up. I'm gonna put some like townhouses right here, and it's gonna look fabulous. I'm excited, so hopefully you guys are too. And if you are, then make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. We have a ton more build videos coming your way, and we also have the legacy challenge that I created. Of course, once I create a legacy challenge and start like filming videos is when EA sells, and we don't know what the future is for The Sims, so that's ironic, but you know, we're just gonna roll with it, and we're gonna have a good time while we're rolling with it. So if you'd like to join me in that, then just one more friendly reminder down below. And thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it, and I hope you guys are having an amazing day wherever you are, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys!